In this video, I'm going to talk about how I use the law of attraction to manifest an extra $100,000 in funded accounts, actual funded accounts. You can see right here that is the official certificate. And it's quite an interesting story. And I'm going to explain to you how it all happened because I wasn't intentionally trying to get an extra $100,000 at the beginning of the week. Okay. But what happened was over the weekend, I was out visiting some friends and I got introduced to a gemstone called Moldavite. As you can see right here, Moldavite. Okay. And this Moldavite is actually quite an interesting gemstone. Okay. First of all, it's not from this planet. Okay. It actually came here 15 million years ago in a meteorite. Okay. And it crashed into our planet around Germany. Okay. And it broke into, I don't know, millions of pieces and it's been scattered all over Germany. And that's this rock, okay? This beautiful gemstone, this little piece right here. You can see it, okay? But anyway, I want to just make it clear that this thing alone won't manifest anything on its own, okay? It's an amplifier, okay? So the law of attraction actually works from focusing your mental thoughts on a specific topic, okay? And by doing that, you manifest things into your life. So you get what you think, what you get what you focus your attention on, okay? So what I like to do is meditate, okay? So I will meditate in the mornings when I wake up for about 15 minutes and I'll focus on whatever I'm trying to bring into my reality. Now, as you know, I've manifested some pretty interesting things in my time. I've been studying manifestation um, for the past 8 years, maybe 10 years. But it came from trading. I was actually trading before that. Okay. And trading was the beginning of my spiritual journey and self-development. And then, manifestation was a natural extension. Okay. Because you got to understand that if you can bend reality and create things into your reality, it's like magic. That's the real market wizard stuff. That's the high level where you want to be. Okay. And so, you know, if you're a go-getter and you're trying to be successful, you have to understand how to bring things into your reality. That's why successful people seem to be lucky. Okay. But they're actually doing internal work and bringing things in. Okay. And people that are not aware of these things, this is tightly kept secrets, okay, that they don't want the general public to know. You see, you have to understand, you as a person are far more powerful than you've been led to believe, okay? The society and the matrix would rather have you think otherwise, okay? They don't want people to be powerful and strong and know the powers they have within them. Okay, this is why all the ancient teachings and our ancestors and all that old stuff and the churches and cathedrals and temples and all this stuff has been destroyed to cover it up. And then it's been blanketed with this digital, enslavement. Okay, but in actual fact, you are God is within you. Okay, so you are a creation of God. If you are God's creation, then you have the same powers as God. Does that make sense? So if God can create things, so can you, right? And this is where the elites, the blue bloods, the Freemasons, or the skulls and bones and these types of people, they have these elite closed societies, and that's what this is what they all talk about: manifesting, learning how to manipulate their environment and bring things in. And they wouldn't want the peasants to know how powerful they are. So this is where the line gets drawn. So I've studied this at a very deep level, okay, and I've manifested some amazing things into my life at will. Uh, the funniest one that I brought into my reality was Shiba Inu. Okay, where actually, before I even got to the Shiba Inu, okay, I manifested $30,000 out of the blue. I got an unexpected phone call to say that, hey, you got some inheritance. So and so's just passed away. Here's 30 grand. Okay, cool. And then so I got the 30 grand, and then I'm like, okay, now I want to manifest the next top performing crypto coin. Okay, and then boom, Shiba Inu shows up. Do you see how that works? Right? And I can tell you, I remember it because none of that was by accident. And I don't talk about manifestations that I'm bringing in the future. I only talk about what I've done in the past. Okay? And so anyway, back to this Moldavite, this amazing gem, right? This is you don't need this, okay? You absolutely don't need this. Everything is within you, inside of you, okay? But they would want you to believe that everything is outside of you. That's why they make you go and pray at a temple or pray outside rather than all you got to do is go within, okay? But once you understand the difference that everything is within you and your thoughts are projecting into the ether, this is how you're connected. If you are not calcified with your third eye, if you are like, if you eat clean, this is why eating clean is very important. If you drink the right water, so you're not drinking fluoride, okay? All of these things, all those things are like poison to your brain, and it'll stop your manifestation because it'll calcify your brain, and then you cannot send out the signal into the ether. Does that make sense? If you cannot send, if if your if your body is poisoned from the foods and the waters that you drink, then your body cannot send out the signal, and then therefore you are powerless and you cannot bring things in. This is one reason why they poison the water. This is why they poison the food. It's all there to you, okay? So first thing you need to do is detox and get very clean. And moringa is good. You can take moringa powder every night. That will decalcify your pineal gland so that you can have a stronger transmitter, your brain, so you can send things out into the universe so you can receive. But this rock, this gemstone, Moldavite, you can go do the research, okay? I never heard about it until this weekend. And the funny thing is, the moment I heard about it, I knew that I had to have it, okay? And you don't choose your Moldavite. The Moldavite chooses you. That's the interesting thing, right? And so what this does is it enhances your connection to the ether. Does that make sense? So what I do is I meditate. Okay, so I'm meditating on whatever I'm trying to bring into my reality, and now I have this. So I'm holding this in my left hand, okay, in the fist, okay, and I'm just meditating, thinking about whatever. And so the minute I got this, I did the meditation, and immediately I felt how powerful it was. Literally, okay, like I felt way more connected and direct with source, which is, like your direct line to God. Okay. And then the crazy thing was I was just meditating for increase, for my own abundance, whatever, right? And then didn't think anything of it. And then I wasn't trying to get more trading capital. Now, this is the funny thing, right? So then by yesterday, Tuesday, yesterday was Tuesday, all of a sudden, I get this ad, it pops up on my feed, right? And it's by this prop firm, okay? It's called Leveraged. They're USA based, so they're in the US, okay? And then they're running a promotion, and it's basically a one-step challenge. You pay only $8. You pay $8 for any account size. So 5K, 10K, 25, 50, 100K, 200K, whatever, right? You just pay $8. And then you take the challenge, and you don't pay anything until you pass the challenge. Does that make sense? So I thought, oh, interesting promo. Never seen this before. I'll give it a go. $8. What do I have to lose, right? So then I buy the challenge. It's a 100K account, right? I paid $8 for it. I paid an extra $10 so that I brought down the target from, I think it was 6% down to 4%. So I only need 4% to pass, okay? With a 6% drawdown. So there I am. I get the account. I load it up. And then my setup shows up. My actual A+ setup shows up. Okay? And without hesitation, obviously, I take the trade. I risk 1%, and it's a 4-hour trade. And by the end of the day, it already hit TP. I'd already passed the challenge. You see? Now, I'm not saying that, just because you meditate and you have some crystals around the house next to you, you're going to be a good trader. No, that's not what I'm saying. Okay? You don't just become a good trader. You have to fucking work at it. You have to put in the work. You have to know how to trade. Does that make sense? Right? This is not woo-woo stuff like, you're just going to become a super trader overnight. You have to know how to trade. And also, you have to do the inner work, right? You have to have the right psychology, the right mindset. You have to have all of that in place so that when the opportunity arrives, you're prepared. Boom, you just take off and you go for it, right? And that is exactly what aligned. And that's what happened. And I've never passed a challenge with just one trade. Never done it before. Okay? So, first time for everything. So I was just thinking that was interesting. Literally got this crystal, meditated as I did normally, but it supercharged the frequency, the transmission into the ether. And, within 72 hours, I have an extra 100K funded in my portfolio. So now I'm, at about 350K funded. Yeah. And I just wanted to share that with you. Okay. So go check it out. Moldavite. I highly recommend it. Okay. If you're into this if you like to bend reality, if you like to be in control of your surrounding, the alpha, not be completely at the mercy of your society. See, like they want you to think that you can't control anything, but when you know how to and you know how to do these things, right? It's like magic. You will walk through life like a magician, and that is when life gets fun, right? And then cool things like this happen. So I just wanted to share that with you. Also, if you want to work on your psychology, then check out the link in the description, the Inner Edge Pro. I actually have a full supplement stack in there as well that I recommend for clearing out the calcifications within your third eye so you can open up pathways and just have more clarity and more focus and just be better. And also we can clear out all the negative emotions that you have that are blocking you from your trades. See, like I took a 4-hour trade. I just let the trade run. I didn't have to look at it. I didn't have to close it. I didn't have to hesitate. It's just like, once you do the internal work, you clear the shadow, you do the shadow work and you clear all the negative emotions within you, then you can hold trades. You can take trades. You don't FOMO, you don't do nothing, you don't get greedy, right? Because your psychology is on point, right? But that's work that you have to do. You don't just wake up like that. Okay, you don't just suddenly wake up one day and say, okay, I'm a patient trader now and I don't FOMO anymore. No, 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 no. It doesn't work like that. You have to do the work. You have to clear out the negative emotions that are running your subconscious pattern, your subconscious mind, right? And that goes back like to from your ancestors, right? From your parents, from like a long time. It's like your early days of programming. Okay, like that will create the greed, the lack, the impatience, the fear, the hesitation. These are all negative imprints that you have to get rid of. Okay, so you need to do that. And also, if you want to go pick up a uh, an $8 challenge, then I'll put a link in the description as well for that. The company is called Leverage. I'm not associated, I'm not affiliated, I'm not working for them. I don't have any special deals with them, right? I'm just going to put a link below for you to go and check it out if you want, right? Or you don't have to, right? Maybe you manifested this video. Maybe you manifested this message. Maybe you were thinking about adding another 100K, 200K, right? Here's an easy way to do it, right? So anyways, I'm going to love you and leave you. And until the next video, you're on your own. Take care now. Goodbye.